Hello, people. This is Detroit Miracle. Yes, indeed. Right now, I want to talk about the migrant problem or situation that's supposedly going on. And in all fairness, talk about the migrant benefits. Instead of immigrants, they are referred to as migrants. That's a trip. I guess immigrants are those that have come from other countries which have already been indoctrinated into American culture and the society of it. They got all the legalized paper. And now migrants are those, I suppose, that do not have all the paperwork that they need to be considered American citizens, but nevertheless they are accepted and welcomed to a certain extent. And it's a lot of complaints about the migrants because like domestic citizens of America are saying that the migrants are coming over and they were receiving so many rewards and benefits, accolades and things like that, where their lives became much more comfortable in a sense. Like they were getting fancy hotels, gourmet meals, silk suits. I'm joking about that, but more or less they are receiving things to the nature of good accommodations for themselves and their families, I suppose. And why shouldn't anybody catch a break like that? Hey, life is hard in cases, and in many cases it definitely is. So if somebody could come to a certain land and receive all the benefits and feel welcomed into it, then why wouldn't they want to catch that break? If I was in their shoes and in their predicament, which compelled me to leave my own homeland, and things have gotten bad if you leave your own homeland to go to another country. We could think of the worst places here in America that no one would want to live in. And there's been people staying in those neighborhoods all their lives and never left, even though they were considered dangerous and unsafe. And they were dangerous based on whatever took place in those communities. But never anybody, as bad as it was in those communities, the citizens didn't just get up and say, hey, let's march across to Canada. It's too bad over here. So that would indicate that it is incredibly bad wherever those migrants came from. Yeah. And I could be sympathetic and empathetic in a way and in many ways regarding the fair treatment to people and people receiving the right amount of good treatment and proper treatment, but they must themselves show others the same courtesy, right? So, if it was that bad where you were, where in anywhere, with people in general, if it's that bad, they should try to leave. And if it's getting worse, then they should definitely try to get out of there, take that pilgrimage across the deserts, the lands, the lakes, the streams, the rivers, and get to the promised land, Jack. That's what I'm saying. But, on the other hand, people are saying the migrants are not all good, decent, noble, and honorable because many of them have committed criminal acts and offenses. Now, yeah, if they make it bad for all the other migrants by doing that, then they came over here for ill-gotten gains and bad intentions, but not all migrants come over and try to do criminal stuff and bad stuff. Yeah, folks, it's something to get you worked up because me being a black African American, would put me under a closer observational or spotlight in comparison to others that seem to not fit a certain profile on the negative. Yeah, so I understand that if a few people do some bad things that look like me with my skin color, then yeah, they would generalize and categorize me in that, saying he must be bad too. Look, he's big, black, bearded, those stereotypical labels. And yeah, we've all gotten those different types of labels stereotypically that we didn't like, but we've gotten some that we liked, but the ones that we didn't like was something that they could have kept or they could have taken back because they didn't want them. Nobody wanted them except the ones that brought it in. Like we all got our stereotypical. So, with a situation, if it's like bad and horrible, if the people can make it through that and it's terrible from their observational, then they're not going to care about saying, hey, I'm going to take other people's jobs and living spaces. It's not like that, even if it seems like that, and it might seem like it's like that for many, and it might seem like that too many, but it ain't, because everybody stands a fair chance of being successful here without racial prejudice, bias, sexism, and those types of discriminations that have stood for generations. Like, we can all do without that type of behavior and activity and conditioning. Yeah. Well, folks, I wanted to touch on this subject through my own perspectives of it. And I hope you would give me those likes, comments, and please subscribe to my channel.